Hello guys, welcome back to this video. Today is day 95, season 3 selection video. So on after here, we have the two Land Rovers parked up and the cattle trailer. The cattle trailer, I think, is supposed to be getting some new lights on the back, so she'll probably be in the shed at some point this week, getting them on. Yellow scraper there, that'll have to be moved. It'll probably be kept near the sheds, as obviously we will have to muck out. We don't tend to muck out with the yard scraper until the animals are actually fully gone. What we tend to do is just use a hay fork and a bucket. As it, we don't have to move the sheep. The sheep can just stay in the shed, and then we can just scatter the straw around. But yeah, she does get used quite a bit for pushing up the feed closer to the feeder area, because obviously with the bucket you're basically scooping it up. So we just flip the blue bit there round, and it sort of just pushes it up that way, without sort of moving it out of the way, if that makes sense. So yeah, but she doesn't really get used much apart from that. Obviously we tend to use her when there's a bit of snow or something, but yeah, she's a good yard scraper, but just barely gets used. Gator, sheep trailer there, oil tank, 10 in the bucket, 5612, just been moved there. We moved her close to the oil tank because she's not doing any sort of job, so we just thought if we move her, gets her running for a bit. Then we've got the chickens there, sort of trying to use the trap there as protection from the wind. And then we've got the ducks there, and the other chickens. And in the sheds, got all the usual stuff, the baler, mini baler, wrapper, mower, and the rake. And they've got the Honda Quad parked back up in the shed, and the Farmerson's Golf parked there. I'm not actually sure why, but it is, so maybe I think he's trying to have a look underneath, not sure, but he is planning to sort of check over his car over the winter when he's not busy. In the shed, T6175 parked up still, and 620S still parked up. Trail forager, spearhead edge cutter, fert bags and the fert spread in the back there. Now, surprisingly, quite a rare sight, the 6616 is not in the shed. She's currently doing something for once, which is quite a surprise, as she's normally just sat in the shed. So you'll see where she is in a minute. Then here we have the main man himself, the farmer, in the mini digger. He's just slowly making his way across the yard. So we just moved her from over there, and he's moving her over to the shed there. Fill her up at the tank, probably leave her there, and then obviously have to move her when the animals are in. But yeah, so she doesn't really need to be in the way of the bales. Obviously we will have to use that area for feeding the animals, and she was only parked there just out of the way, and now we're going to fill her up and probably keep her near the shed, because we can also use her for mucking out or pushing up the feed. But now she's not a bad little mini digger, to be fair. She gets the job done. We don't really need a big one, so she's perfect for the jobs we do and the size of farm we have. We've got the gate there, still waiting to be put in place. We've got the herbs, dump trailer, Keenan, and the bale trailer all in the shed. These will have to be taken out as the cows will be coming in soon. Dub bear lifter, Buck Creek will also have to be moved out of the way. Then we've got Matt's Land Rover parked up there. He came with himself and John. Size trailer will probably be put in front of the bales there, and we will move it back into the pit once it's empty, and we'll put like the buck rake and stuff like that in there, because obviously it doesn't need to be used. But that probably won't be till about February time. And then we've got the bales stacked there. I don't think the farmer's planning on getting any more, but I reckon he could put one on, and then two at the front and maybe one on top. He could probably get probably about three more. yeah, maybe he doesn't want to buy any, which obviously he won't buy any unless he needs them. So we'll have to see how the winter sort of pans out. Then in the sheep field, got all the ewes and the ram there enjoying themselves. A couple of them eating the left little bits of silage left over the lick bucket. And then here we have Farmer's Son in the 740 with Gareth Williams flatbed trailer on the back. And then we've got Matt here in the 3400 tie on there, and he's just dropped the sheep shelter off there onto the trailer, as we'll be taking this back to the other farm because obviously the sheep will be coming in within the next week, so there's no need for the sheep shelter. So the farmer has decided to keep the sheep sort of shorten the amount of time the sheep are going to be in the field, as the weather has sort of took a change recently, and he doesn't want to risk losing any sheep, as they're sort of his main source of income, along with the cows. So that would include losing lambs, which would also not be good, as we'd lose obviously a sheep and potentially 1 or 2 lambs, which could obviously his sort of money sort of maker. So it's just don't want to risk it really. Obviously most of our sheep are hardy, but we're not going to split the flock up. We're going to bring them in, and you know, they're closely monitored. He was going to try and keep them out until January, but he thought if the cows are in the shed, the sheep can come in too, and it'll give the field a bit of a rest for when they come back out next. They should hopefully have enough grass to keep them going, hopefully enough grass for the lambs as well. So they'll be in the shed for the next couple of months, and obviously we'll have to repeat the sort of lambing cycle again. Also the ewes at the other farm are also coming into the sheds, but we might keep them here, or a couple of them here, as we don't have that many, because obviously the sheds at the other farm are quite sort of full, as the other farm's animals are in most of the sheds, quite busy, as they have a lot more animals than us. So our sheep are sort of sectioned off from their sheep, just so there's no confusion with lambs and whatever. So we might have to bring them here just until they can find space, because some of their ewes are lambing in January and some of them are lambing in March. So once the January ones have lambed and out of the shed, our ones can go in that shed until March. So just have to sort of plan it out. But yeah, so the ram will also have to go to the other farm, but he'll just go straight in the field with the other ram, and they'll be in the field together until obviously he's needed again next year. Then in the cow field, got all the cows here. They are all pregnant, so they've already been scanned, and we should have 9 calves in March, hopefully. We've got a bit of size left in the feed trailer, got one eating it there. And then we've got Matt here in the 6616. She's actually out for once, and yeah, he's just picked up the gate and the sort of small hurdle there, and he's about to take it out of the field and put it back over there, and obviously they'll be put in place for the cows when they come in. So it's sort of getting a bit busier now, obviously preparing for the animals coming in, but obviously once the animals are in, it'll slow down a lot, as it'll just be the basic feeding, and then feeding, and then feeding, and then feeding, until the calves and lambs are born. It's going to be same repeated process every day. And then coming down the lane here, we have a lad in his Subaru Impreza. Now, don't think he's a rally driver, but he's sort of got the rally livery. He's waiting at the junction there. Then behind him we have a very nice setup. We have New Holland T7300. This is a farmer we know quite well, or seen a lot, and and he's got an RV tanker on the back. This isn't his, this is for his mate. He's just picked it up for him, brand new tanker, and he's about to drop it off at his mate's. Not a bad setup, to be fair, on the back of the T7. So I think his mate is also waiting on a new tractor for next year, so we'll hopefully see that out and about somewhere, whether that be doing slurry or not. But yeah, it will be a New Holland, I just don't know which one, so we'll have to see next year what tractor he has, and I'll see if there's an Abbey tanker on the back of a tractor, that'll be him. So we're getting to the end of the Model Farm videos now, and there'll be one a week next year. And obviously I'm still trying to figure out what can change for the Model Farm, because obviously there's not much on the main farm itself, so we'll have to see how that sort of goes. But we're almost at the end now, 5 more, and then there'll be like the rest of it. I think it ends in like the first week of December or second, I'm not sure. So I'll have 2 weeks in December, and hopefully the Model Farm video should stop for about 4 weeks or a month. So sometime halfway through January, hopefully, I'm hoping the Model Farm videos will start again, as I don't want them to be as late as they were this year. I think I started on the second or the last week of the second to last or the last week of January, and I sort of have to I got a bit delayed, so I had to sort of do 3 episodes a week so I can sort of get a bit closer to 100, and then I can sort of focus on the Model Farm. There probably won't be that much changes, but I'll see what I can do. So yeah, so much for this video guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and bye.